Hello, everyone, and welcome back to day 2 of the Wonder of Charcoal family weekend of events here at Outwoods, just outside of Loughborough, brought to you by the Charnwood Forest Geopark and all our many partners. I must say, the weather today is so much better than it was today, so we're hoping you're going to be joining us between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. But here, as we start day 2, I've got Kevin, who is from Heartwood, our big partner, providing all the charcoal. How did you think yesterday went, Kevin?
It went really well. We had quite a few people, actually. I was quite surprised how many people decided to come out in what was fairly damp weather, really. It doesn't affect our charcoal burning because the things run so hot, so that was all fine for us. But it was great to see some people showing interest in what we do, and we're hoping for a lot more visitors today.
Now, we've got 2 charcoal burners running here. One of them, tell us about the one at the back, because that was firing away yesterday, but it's still not quite ready to take the lid off, is it?
No, yesterday's charcoal burn was in the big kiln at the back, and that's a traditional ring kiln. That takes a long while to run and takes an awful lot of wood to fuel it. And we started burning that at 6 o'clock yesterday morning, and it concluded its burn just before 6 p.m. last night, but will take 24 to 48 hours to cool down now, so we can't have a look what the outcome of our efforts were until probably Tuesday.
And if you visit us, I'm sure they will let you pop your hand on the sign. You can feel, even though it went out at 6 p.m. yesterday, it's still warm to the touch. So it's going to take a while to cool down. But you might have been able to see some of the Heartwood team priming this other kiln. If I step to the side here, you can see this. This is a retort kiln, and the smoke's coming out already. And tell us why this is a little bit different. We're going to be firing this one up for a fresh batch today.
The 2 kilns use different principles, really. They all rely on wood being burnt without oxygen to create charcoal. The one at the back, we actually light a fire inside the wood that we're using to make charcoal. So quite a proportion of that is used as sacrificial wood just to create the heat. With the charcoal retort, the fire is actually controlled within the chimney. So the wood that we're converting to charcoal never actually gets flames on it, and it's just baked in effect inside the cylinder behind you.
Excellent. So if you want to learn a bit more about charcoal, an important historic industry for Charnwood Forest, then do come down to the Outwoods today, 11 till 4. You can meet the Heartwood team. You can see the kiln that was fired yesterday and the retort that is being fired again today. Learn a little bit more about the process, and just tell us to round us off from you, Kevin. What is Heartwood? What do you do? Tell us a bit more about your organisation.
Well, our full title is Heartwood Community Woodfield Group, and we were set up by the National Forest in 2014. Basically, a bunch of volunteers who do woodland management, mainly for the firewood. So most of our volunteers come and do a day in the woods, and they get paid with a boot full of logs for their fire. And that was the initial remit of the group, but since then it's grown out of all proportion. We've got around 115 members now, and we do all sorts of things like this. We make charcoal. Our members enjoy making charcoal. We sell some of that charcoal for club income, and we've got people who are interested in wood carving, in greenwoods, all sorts of woodland crafts. So charcoal is quite a big proportion of what we do now as a group.
Excellent. So if you want to find out more about how charcoal's made, or indeed Heartwood, to learn more about their organisation, do pop down today. Thank you so much, Kevin.
We're always recruiting. If people are interested in joining the group, we're always recruiting. We'll talk to you about what we do. And we've got some excellent footage of the big kiln in action from yesterday, so we can show you what it's like when it's running.
Excellent, and we'll make sure we share Kevin's footage as well, so you can see. It's quite impressive to learn more about how this all works. I should say, for the moment while we're live, if you do have any comments or questions, do put them in the comment section on Facebook or YouTube. If you leave a tweet for us, we'll get back to you a bit later too, but we'll try and respond to as many of those live as we can. But thank you once more to Kevin, and we're going to tell you a little bit more about the other things that are going on today in the Outwoods, because it's not just the charcoal burners here, but a little celebration of the history and the many uses of charcoal as well. But I want to start by saying thank you to some of our partners, such as Olivia's Cafe, which has done so well since it launched here at the Outwoods. They've not only got the cafe up by the car park, but also there's a few pop-up places where you can get coffee and some light refreshments as well. So there's food and fun down here as well. I should say, if you don't need to drive to get here, we would appreciate it if you walked or bicycled or use any other method of transport. We are expecting the car park to get a little busy. And of course, there is the overflow car park on the Loughborough side of Outwoods as well. Now, as well as that, we've got some art projects led by our partners at Charnwood Arts, where everyone of all ages can have a little bit of fun making some forestry art with the charcoal that has been produced here and on other occasions too, and indeed celebrating the historic way that charcoal was made, because as Kevin and the team will be able to tell you, the retort here will churn around a batch of charcoal. Is it about 4 hours, Kevin?
Yes, about 4 hours, but we do have to let it cool down overnight. But we have got yesterday's produce, so we can show you what actually comes out of the machine.
Whereas in days gone by, a large charcoal burn might have taken several days, which would have meant that the charcoal burner on duty would have had to be there all around the clock to make sure that no oxygen got in there and it didn't all burn to ashes. And so they would have a little charcoal burner's hut, and you can join Nita, a local artist, and some of her team to reproduce a charcoal burner's hut made of local willow and thatched with some bracken. And could you and members of your family pop down and give us a hand with thatching that wonderful charcoal burner's hut? It's also nice to note that in the Outwoods we have the sculpture trail, which is up at the moment. So come and enjoy the sculpture trail as well. And we also want to say thank you to our partners yesterday from Smoking Apples and Live and Local, who supported an outdoor theatre performance from Arbour the Tree. So thank you so much to them. Now you can see the smoke's going now. It's billowing around. Our clothes are very smoky, but it's an authentic experience. So we're hoping to see you. A reminder, 11 till 4, down at the Outwoods today. And the sun is here, so do not fear.
Glorious today.
Anything else to add, Kevin?
I don't think so. Look forward to seeing you if you come and join us.
Wonderful. All your questions answered. You can learn. We know many people want to know, well, why turn wood into charcoal? And I'm not going to answer that question now. I think you need to come down here and ask us in person. So thank you for joining us live today, and we very much look forward to meeting you in person 11 till 4 at the Outwoods just outside of Loughborough. If you need more details, do look down our page on Twitter and on Facebook for more details. Thanks once more for joining us for an impromptu update from the Charnwood Forest Geopark and all of our partners, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.